Charlie always believed that anyone in hell could change. But Season 2 tests that belief harder than ever. Because this time, she isn't fighting sinners, demons, or rivals, she's fighting angel dust's past. And the deeper she digs, the more she discovers that saving him won't be a simple dream. It might be the hardest battle she has ever faced. Everything in Season 2 begins with a quiet tension inside the Hazbin Hotel. It feels different now. The halls are cleaner, the guests are calmer, and Charlie's dream of redemption finally seems like it could be real. But under the surface, one guest is falling apart more than anyone realizes. Angel Dust, even though he hides behind jokes and flashy charm, the weight of his old life is still chained to him, pulling him back every time he tries to move forward. Charlie sees this more clearly than anyone else. She always has. From the moment Angel walked through the hotel doors, she sensed a spark in him, something good, something scared, something worth saving. And in Season 2, she decides it's time to focus on him more closely. Not out of pity, but because she knows Angel represents the true challenge of her mission. If someone like him can rise above the darkest parts of hell, then her dream is possible. If he can't, then maybe she has been wrong from the start. This is where the emotional heart of the story begins. Charlie isn't just the princess of hell. She's the only one still clinging to the idea that redemption can work. And Angel Dust, despite all the jokes and wild behavior, is the one who needs redemption the most. But he's also the one who fears it the most. The moment Charlie tries to help him, Angel pulls away. He avoids her questions, turns every heavy moment into a joke, and hides behind the loud, bright mask he created long before he came to the hotel. But Charlie knows better. She notices every flinch, every forced smile, every moment his laughter drops just a second too early. She sees the way he shuts down whenever someone mentions his past. She understands that behind all the glitter and confidence, Angel Dust is terrified of facing who he used to be, and that is exactly why she chooses him as her focus. Charlie starts by observing him from a distance, trying to understand what hurts him the most. She watches how he acts around the staff, how he reacts to kindness, and how quickly he shuts down when conversations get too personal. She doesn't push him. She doesn't corner him. She simply tries to understand him. Because deep down, she knows that no one can be saved by force. They have to want it first. Meanwhile, the hotel itself becomes a symbol of her mission. The walls echo with small victories and silent failures. Some guests improve, others leave, and a few lose themselves entirely. But every success fuels Charlie's hope. Every setback strengthens her determination. And Angel Dust sits right at the center of that balance. In this early part of the story, we see Charlie's greatest strength, her empathy. While everyone else sees Angel as trouble, a lost cause, or a walking disaster, Charlie sees something different. She sees someone who has been used, broken, and ignored for so long that he stopped believing in anything better. She sees a sinner who desperately wants to change but has no idea where to begin, and so Charlie makes a choice that defines the rest of the season. She decides that Angel Dust will not fall through the cracks, not on her watch. She refuses to let him be consumed by the mistakes he keeps running from. She refuses to let hell win, because saving him isn't just about redemption anymore. It's about proving that hope still matters even in a place built on hopelessness. Charlie knows that helping Angel Dust won't be easy, but she refuses to give up. So she starts building a plan quietly, carefully, and with more patience than anyone else in the hotel has. She doesn't announce it, she doesn't make a big speech. Instead, she begins with something simple, being present. She sits with Angel during breakfast, checks on him during training, and shows up whenever he tries to slip away into the shadows. At first, Angel thinks she's just being polite. But Charlie isn't watching him. She's studying him. She starts small. She gives Angel easy tasks, chores that take only a few minutes but require focus. Cleaning a hallway, organizing the music room, helping set up events for the other guests. Angel acts annoyed, but he still does them. And every time he finishes a task, Charlie nods with that gentle smile that tells him she believes in him, even when he doesn't believe in himself. Next, she tries something deeper. She introduces reflection moments. They aren't therapy sessions, not really. Just quiet one-on-one talks where she asks simple questions like, "How was your morning?" or "What made you smile today?" But for Angel, these questions feel heavier than chains. He avoids eye contact, shrugs, or makes a joke to break the mood. Still, Charlie listens. She doesn't judge him. She lets him talk at his own pace, and slowly, Angel starts saying more than just punchlines. But the biggest step comes when Charlie creates a safe corner in the hotel just for him. A small room with warm lighting, soft chairs, and a place where he can draw, write, or sit without being watched. She doesn't tell him what it's for. She just tells him it's his space whenever he needs it. Angel pretends he doesn't care. But he visits it more than he admits. Even the hotel staff notices Charlie's new mission. Some support her, hoping Angel can finally break out of his old patterns. Others whisper behind her back, saying it's pointless, saying Angel is too damaged, too unpredictable, too tied to his past life. But Charlie ignores them. She knows that real change doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when everyone else thinks it's impossible. The more time she spends with Angel, the more cracks she notices in his mask. She sees the way his jokes pause for half a second before landing. She hears the tiredness in his voice when he thinks no one is listening. She watches him struggle to accept even the smallest praise, as if kindness is a language he never learned. And every moment tells her the same thing. Angel Dust wants to be better. He just doesn't think he deserves it. That realization becomes the core of her plan, not fixing him, but helping him see the worth he has hidden under years of pain. Charlie isn't trying to turn Angel into someone else. She's trying to help him find the part of himself he buried a long time ago, and for the first time, Angel Dust begins to feel something dangerous. Something he hasn't felt in years. Hope. Angel's progress is fragile, like glass that shines beautifully but cracks under the smallest pressure. And that pressure arrives faster than anyone expects. It starts with a simple message slipped under his door, a reminder from the life he's been trying so hard to escape. One look at the handwriting is enough to drain all the color from his face. It's from someone tied to his darkest memories, someone who knows exactly how to pull him back into the chains Charlie has been trying to break. Angel tries to brush it off. He jokes about it, throws it away, pretends it's nothing. But Charlie sees the shift in him instantly. His smile becomes sharper, his jokes louder, his movements jittery. The mask he wears becomes heavier every minute, and even the other hotel staff start to notice his energy changing. The easy progress they saw in him begins to fade, replaced by the old habits he desperately wants to forget. The real breaking point hits during a training session. Charlie encourages him to try a simple exercise, something he had done perfectly a few days earlier. But Angel freezes. His hands shake. The message echoes in his mind, pulling him back to every moment he wishes he could erase. When Charlie tries to help, he snaps. Not with anger, but with fear. A kind of fear that comes from being trapped for so long that freedom itself feels dangerous. He storms out of the room, leaving the staff stunned. Some whisper that they saw this coming. Others shake their heads, saying Angel was never going to change in the first place. The whole hotel feels heavier, as if the air itself is holding its breath. Charlie follows him, but not to scold him. She finds him sitting in his private corner of the room, she made just for him, curled into himself like a child hiding from a storm. His voice trembles as he tells her pieces of the truth. Not everything, not the whole story, but enough for her to understand that the message wasn't just a reminder. It was a threat. A threat from someone who doesn't want Angel to change. Someone who benefits from him staying broken. Charlie listens without interrupting. Her heart breaks with every word he forces himself to say. And when he finally runs out of strength, she kneels beside him and tells him something he's never heard from anyone, that he is allowed to be scared. And he is allowed to try again, but this moment is more than emotional, it becomes a test for the entire hotel. Some staff members question Charlie's mission, arguing that Angel is too unstable, too tied to trouble, too much of a risk. They tell her that helping him could drag the whole hotel into danger. And for the first time, Charlie hesitates. Not because she doubts Angel, but because she fears what might happen to him if she doesn't protect him from the storm ahead. The conflict grows, tension rising like fire spreading across dry wood. Angel blames himself. The staff blames the risks. The past claws at him harder than ever. And Charlie stands in the center, refusing to move, refusing to let fear choose the path for them, because deep down, she knows this moment defines everything. Redemption isn't proven when things are easy. It's proven when you fight like hell for someone who doesn't know how to fight for themselves, and Charlie isn't backing down, not now, not ever. The hotel feels different after Angel's breakdown. Quieter, the walls hold a kind of nervous stillness, as if they're waiting for something to shift. But instead of hiding or shutting herself away, Charlie steps into the center of the storm. She gathers the staff, listens to their worries, and stands firm in her choice. She doesn't deny the danger. She doesn't pretend things are fine. She simply tells them that redemption was never supposed to be safe. It was meant to be meaningful. Meanwhile, Angel stays in the quiet room she created for him. The message still echoes in his mind, but Charlie's words echo louder. For the first time, someone didn't walk away from him when things got messy. Someone didn't see him as a problem to throw out or a hopeless case to ignore. Instead, Charlie stayed. And that simple act breaks something loose inside him, something he didn't know he was still holding on to. Slowly, he starts showing signs of change again. Tiny things at first. He finishes a chore without complaining. He checks in with the staff instead of hiding from them. He even sits with Charlie during morning tea, not as a distraction or a joke, but as someone trying to feel something normal for once. These moments aren't huge victories, but they are real, honest, and they're enough for Charlie to feel hope grow inside her. Again, but the real turning point comes when Angel returns to the training room, the same place where he froze, panicked, and ran. He walks in quietly as if the room might reject him, but Charlie is already there waiting, patient, and calm. She doesn't push him. She doesn't bring up the past. She simply says, "We can start wherever you want." And for the first time, Angel chooses to start not because she asked, but because he wants to. The session goes better than anyone expects. His hands still shake, his voice still cracks, but Angel refuses to stop. Each movement is a small rebellion against the version of himself that his past tried to shape. And when he finally succeeds in the exercise he once failed, the look on his face isn't pride. It's relief. A quiet, trembling relief that tells Charlie everything she needs to know. Angel Dust isn't fully redeemed. Not even close. But he's moving. He's trying. He's walking toward a future he never believed he could have. And that small progress becomes a powerful message to the entire hotel. Guests who doubted redemption begin to hope again. Staff who questioned Charlie's mission start to believe. The hotel, once filled with silent tension, feels alive again. Still, in the shadows, the threat from Angel's past lingers. The message wasn't a random reminder, it was a warning. Someone out there doesn't want Angel to change. Someone wants him broken, obedient, and trapped. That danger doesn't disappear just because Angel made progress. If anything, it grows. Charlie senses it too. She knows this peaceful moment is temporary. She knows something bigger is coming. But she also knows one more thing. Angel isn't facing it alone this time. The hotel stands with him. She stands with him. And he's finally starting to stand for himself. As the episode ends, the camera would metaphorically pull back, showing Angel looking out a window, the city of hell glowing below him. His reflection is tired, hopeful, and uncertain. But this time, there's a spark in his eyes, because redemption isn't a dream anymore. It's a fight, and Angel Dust has finally chosen to fight back.